It is Sunday, May 19th, and here I am on another visit to the boat. I know some people probably wonder why I'm not posting blog posts or videos, but it's not for lack of work. I'm always working on the boat every weekend, at least when I can, but usually not a whole lot to update with. This morning I scrubbed the deck. It wasn't looking too good. It's not looking too great right now. Like this right here, that's the vent from the airhead, but it's not looking too good. But I cleaned it up. It's looking a little bit better. Solar, definitely glad I put the solar in. Right now this 50-watt panel isn't really doing anything. I just haven't taken it off the deck yet, but the 200 watts, the 100-watt panels on either side, they're doing great, keeping the batteries charged. So here in the middle I have a 2-part mast and the boom for a sailing dinghy. But right now everything, like I said, I just scrubbed that. Kind of needed it. Then a few weeks ago, another project coming up that I want to do anyway. A few weeks ago, ripped this hole in there, but there was already a few little holes in here. But I want to redo the Dodger, so I took some measurements, get an idea of how much material I would need to order for it, and then just getting an idea of how it's put together, and not sure if I'll duplicate it like it is now or change anything, but it kind of works the way it is. Right here for the shore power plug. And I don't know, to me it looks like this is a leather strip. Not sure that's really needed, but under here got a zipper to hold it on the front or the back rail, and then the front rail, another zipper right there. Got the windows with covers on there. Then these other pieces up here, there's one here that's supposed to go back to like the stern rail, so a little bit of shade from the top, and then these pieces right here are supposed to come down on the sides. But what I've been doing is just having this top panel tied to this lock, kind of cover it up a little bit. Today, well, excuse me, not today, but I was thinking it's been a couple years since the damage on this happened, and it just went right here. Anyway, it fits there. But when the tree fell on the boat, this got damaged, and I've been needing to replace it. And I tried hiring someone to do it, but I haven't heard anything back from them. I think they worked on it. They might still have the piece. But anyway, I figured no hurry to mess with him. But what I did is, a guy gave me some scrap plywood, so I've been here trying to shape it to last a little bit. Got this plywood, and then I got another piece right here. So I've been using these rasps. One's coarse, one fine for these ones, and then this is a Japanese saw rasp. So if you look at the blades on here, it's like saw blades, so you get a coarse side on one side and then a fine side on the other. And this really works well. This is Japanese made. So I've been working on this morning, and I think I got it just about to where it'll fit. I mean, just plywood, so nothing too fancy, but I think it'll work. Just a little bit tight, like right here on the edge. But around here, the chain plates was a little bit hard, but you can kind of see right now there's a little bit of a gap here, but that shouldn't be too bad. And this hole for where the cable was coming out of, that was for the stern light. I think this was mounted on the stern pole, the pole that was mounted to the railing that was bent up. That's right over there. That still needs one of the legs straightened up, and that because the leg that needs straightened went over here. This was damaged, so I cut a little piece out here, and I could probably put another piece in here to give it a fuller look. But the main thing I've been looking at is how the holes on here are lined up, since I just now got this shape to where it'll kind of fit. But it's kind of a little awkward. But these 3 holes right here, that was for the railing, you know, the railing down there. This little hole I think was for mounting the wood to the boat. Same with these couple smaller holes, but this big hole and then this one right here on this little lip, that was for the wind vane. I got a replacement wind vane, but that's at the house. Might need to do a little bit of fiberglass work on there, but might have to realign the holes and maybe move them slightly. I don't know, because if this one comes down, then this one would be a little too far over. But we'll see how that works out. But a few other smaller holes here and there. This hole, there used to be, let's see, where's it at? Okay, this right here was for a light, for a stern light. I guess when one of the previous owners put on the wind vane, they moved it from this and then put this one on for the pole that used to hold the radar mount or radar antenna. But I won't need this hole. But then you can see the 3 holes on this side for the other side of the rail. But I think right now I'm just trying to think of how I'm going to put the wood, because I could probably just go with this plywood, which could work. But when I fit it down, it's just slightly high on here, but then it's just a little bit low. It's just a little bit low right here. So I'm not sure how that would affect the mounting of the wind vane when I replace that, because the hole on this side for the wind vane is pretty close too, being this one and this one. But anyway, like I was saying, I could just stick with this, the plywood. I thought about doing smaller pieces and then epoxying them to the curve, because if you're looking straight at it, it kind of curves down on either end, but just a little bit of pressure works fine. I'm thinking if I stick with this, I'm thinking to coat it in epoxy before I drill any holes or anything, and then when I mount it, of course, use Life Caulk or Sikaflex, what is it, 291 or 4200, you know, something to seal this down. But if I do epoxy, then I'd have to put some varnish on it, and because that'll need to be protected. So I could use this, or just use it as a template and maybe find a different piece of wood and cut it to size and shape. But I mean, it's not exactly an easy job, but it's doable either way. And then the tricky part is trying to get it to mount either to the same, well, for the holes that mounted the wood to the boat before, I mean, those could be filled in and redone in different places. But then these holes for the railing and, you know, these ones for the wind vane, those could possibly need to be redone in the same place. If I did that, you know, like I said, there's still a little bit of a lip right here. Then maybe putting another, maybe even thinner layer of plywood on top just to build up that height, or actually just something I'm thinking of now as I'm talking about it. I mean, this is the same thickness as this one, but what if I get something half as thick? Instead of putting one piece all across, maybe just a smaller piece, just like a little raised pad where the wind vane would mount, or the wind vane and the stern rail. That's a possibility. That way you don't have to use too much wood. Could probably find another smaller piece of scrap for that. But anyway, this is what I've been working on. You can kind of see the sawdust. It's kind of collected here. I got a little mini dustpan that's currently in the truck, which is over there. But that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. But since that hole is right there, bringing in water, I'm thinking just laying up a tarp, probably just inside here because everything else would be covered. But I'd rather wait until the boat's in the water because that could be done anytime. Let's see what else. And there's still plenty of other projects to do. I got the cutlass bearing in, but it's sticking out a little. But I haven't put the shaft in. I still have some of the stuff for the exhaust to take care of. Still have another seacock to install for the cockpit drains. Right now, one of these still has just a blue hose just sticking out of it. But that's about it. And yes, that is the mainsail. It's covered up. When I started working on the boat, I didn't expect the refit to take as long as it has. So, and I couldn't figure out how the battens were put in, so I didn't fold it up or anything. And I'm planning on redoing that cover anyway. So I have a small roll of this umbrella at the house, about I think it was 15 yards. So that'll take care of, you know, that sail cover and maybe a couple other things. But plenty of other things to do. I might be able to do the sail cover at the house, or maybe the you know, the little strip that goes on the roller jib. I could probably do that at the house too. But I'm usually watching my daughters, and usually can't do much unless she's sleeping, and she tends to stay up pretty late at night too. But anyway, before I ramble on too much, I just wanted to post a video just to show that I am still working on it. I'm still slowly making progress. I'm trying to do what I can. And then another project right here. One of these days, I want to put in a smart plug instead of this round one. But I do have the replacement plug in the boat. Just haven't gotten to that yet. Actually, since I put the solar in, I have not really needed shore power much at all.